Welcome back everybody, I am Tom, and you are watching me play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. In the last episode we got a bit of lore about White Orchard, and we came up, following Mislav. He's come and showed us where all these Nilfgaardian soldiers were killed by the Griffin. There's some wolves there. I think they're far enough away to not bother me.
Ground's black, saturated with blood. Nilfgaardians were celebrating. Griffin interrupted them.
Those wolves are very loud.
A camp.
Also, the damage around this area that the Griffin did, it's a nice touch. Oh. Apparently there's a thing here. Footprints.
These prints are older and deeper, heavily armored. Nilfgaardians, probably.
Follow the Nilfgaardian road. Follow the red bootprint road. Up here?
Griffin's nest. What remains of it, at least. Corpse is a couple of weeks old. Still alive when the Griffin brought him here. Took a long time dying. Bones. Horse, dog, human. A few months' worth. Burned. Only a human could do this.
His Imperial Majesty Imra vam Emrys. Emir va Emrys rules to expand. He has trained his strategic brilliance over a single vision, to conquer the world. Though he rightly calls this not conquest, but salvation. Yes, the Emperor of Nilfgaard shall be set the world alight with the torch of civilization. Trampling the still warm corpses of his father's usurpers, the Emperor seized the throne and began to assimilate the northern realms. One after the other, terror engulfed the north. Only the Battle of Brenna slowed the Imperial army's march toward victory. A temporary peace then took hold, though none believed this mirage would last. Emir's aim, to make the entire north a vassal of Nilfgaard, remained unchanged. Emir used peace as a cover to intensify his political efforts. Now all can see their results. Chaos and disorder devour the Nordling state. Ridden with internal bickering and backstabbing, they near collapse. Only a strong ruler can grapple this dysfunction into function. Only a wise ruler can give vision to their blindness. Only Emir va Emrys can save the north. So our armies have again crossed the Yaruga, for the third and final time. Nilfgaardian propaganda, seemingly. Although, it's not even propaganda, because it's like preaching to the choir. But look at it, he's got a Nilfgaardian helmet on. He's Nilfgaardian, so... Also, dead Griffin. Didn't point that out before.
Female. Larvae in her wounds have already hatched. Been dead at least a week. Other Griffin must be a male. Deep cuts over the whole body. Not a drop of blood on the beak or claws. Didn't defend herself. Crept up on her while she slept. Beak tips worn. Gray hairs in the coat. 10, 12 years old. Griffins pair off for life when young. Male must be about the same age. Thick shaft, dense barbs. A royal griffin. Explains why the male I ran into was so aggressive. Hunted the Nilfgaardians down here in the forest first, then started prowling the area. Done all I could. Should talk to Vesemir.
So, they exacerbated the problem. As no doubt happens all the time when you don't hire a Witcher and try and get things done yourself. Place of power.
Medallion's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
Insurability point. And there's something else over here. Also, well, this is the main road, actually. So I climbed up here. This is the... It's actually very close to this abandoned village. So if this village had survived, because this is Claire and Volker's settlement. So if that had survived, probably would have had some troubles with the Griffin about 10 years after they settled. Would have been a good job for a Witcher. I'm gonna run this way, knock off this point, which I can't actually remember what this is. My assumption is, I'm gonna take a steel sword, because my assumption is... Bandit camp. Indeed. I think that's the only one with the bow. So I'm fine. Except I need Gwen. No Gwen. I can kill this one. Decapitated. Hey. That was pretty sweet too. Whew. Some of these knockouts are just so good. The AutoLoot mod will be interesting here because I want to see what's this here. What I was saying was I was trying to figure out what actually counts as the treasure here because you've got all these things here. Like, there's a lot of loot at this place. Considering there's... I don't think I need to deal with those wolves. They're like here. If I run to the road... Run this way and then down the road, I think they'll leave me alone. Have a dumpling. That'll make you feel better, Geralt. This is quicker than going through my map, is to run through the point. If you run through those points, they disappear, which is something I wish more games did. Because the amount of times in other games I end up with markers all over my bloody map because I put them down and then run to them and forget to take them off. The Witcher lets you just run straight through them, which is nice. I think fast travel is the better option here. Now I could talk to Vesemir, but instead I think I'm going to knock these off in today's episode. So I'll finish all the points of interest this episode, and depending how we go for time, I'll see what I can do otherwise. What's the quickest way to get there? Cackler Bridge... No. Like actually... Oh, whoops. I have that habit of going to the map without actually selecting the fast travel point. I go to Warstone Bridge and cross the bridge and go up. It's probably going to be the easiest way to do this. This way. Hop. Should probably mark one of these on my map just to make it slightly easier on me. I think I'm going to go up this road and go up to Cackler Bridge and open Cackler Bridge. Just so it's... Well, open the bridge. Open the gate in front of the bridge. Which you can only do from this side. Might take Roach. Although at this point... Yeah, I'll take Roach. That sounds like wild dogs. Well, it sounds like dogs. Whether or not they're wild dogs or not is probably perfectly fine to be debated, but... smooth way to get off the horse, Geralt. Yeah, so now that's open, so that's a viable fast travel point for me now. Unfortunately, it really wasn't before. Up here, there's something. I think probably a bandit camp. So most of the things that are this far off beaten track, are bandit camps. Or a deserter camp, actually.
Don't let him catch his breath! Ah!
That guy has a lot of stamina.
I'll rip off your melon and shit down your neck!
I mean, as insults go, it's not half bad.
Get him! Come on!
This guy's dead. Oh, cool. Lots of loot in this area. I've said multiple times how I don't need loot, but I like loot. Still something I like. Interesting place. I don't remember this place. Soaked letter. To His Excellency Velorad, Lord Mayor of Vizima. Your Excellency, we can wait no longer. The scouts say the Black Ones are already readying their siege equipment. If you wish to escape with your life, please present yourself at the Vizima Temple Quarter sewer entrance tomorrow at the crack of dawn. There is not much room on the boat, so take with you only your closest family and most valued treasures. I shall provide a few men to act as guard, but not too many, for I do not wish to attract attention. We shall sail for Black Soul, Stoonwar, White Orchard, and Charske? Never even heard of that place. From there, we shall continue on horseback. Yannick Dellin. P.S. Do not tell anyone about your flight. We do not wish to arouse panic. Well, clearly, he brought just the essentials, like this king-size fucking bed, and like 5 chests, and like these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 casks of wine, and this enormous painting. And all the gold... Yeah, okay. You get the idea. Clearly he didn't take just the valuables. And all this shit as well, I suppose. I mean, just for completion, I want to get this last one. There we go. A vial. It's well worth it. There are more guys down here, actually. I think I was supposed to come down from the other direction. Oh, that was easy. Bow guys are actually easy if you can get close to them, because if you get them in the animation before they take their sword out, they can't block any of your attacks. But from a distance, they suck. And I could get there is a perk that lets you deflect arrows. And I could get that, would make my life easier and I wouldn't have to complain about it as much, but after a certain point, arrows stop being much of an issue. So the parrying kind of becomes a cool factor more than anything else. And it is cool, particularly if you get the upgraded version, because the upgraded version will reflect arrows back at the attacker, which is just so cool. Not only can you deflect arrows mid-flight, you can deflect them with enough accuracy to get back to the person who fired them at you, which is just silly and cool. But once again, I'm not going to use it because, I mean, quite frankly, there's cooler abilities. Spy's notes. 15th day of observation, 23rd of Burke. Back in the camp, brought in heaps of plunder, mostly armor and weapons, but this time a sealed chest too. Towards dusk, a man delivered rations of food and drink. 16th day of observation, 24th of Burke. Messenger arrived in the camp before dawn. Caused quite a stir, they immediately organised a group to transport the chest. After dusk, I'll try to track down where they carried it to. I kind of did dark and dusk in my head at the same time. 17th day of his observation. Didn't move the case that far away, just to the abandoned hut near the old mill. Actually heard about this before. Set up a watch, so I wasn't able to get closer. 18th day of observation. Every man in the camp has been drinking since yesterday afternoon, goddamn. If we attack now, we'd obliterate them. Too bad the commander only sent one man, me, to this outpost. I'll try to sneak in tonight. If fortune smiles on me, perhaps one man will be enough. We've heard about the camp near the windmill before. I think I'm gonna get attacked by wolves. Maybe not.
Strange.
This is presumably the spy. Where is Temerian or Nilfgaardian is unclear. He's dressed like he's a Temerian, but he's also a spy, so... interesting. I'm gonna eat some food. Eat another dumpling. There you go. So you're spying on this camp down here, presumably. Which is another hidden treasure. I'm gonna quickly go to my potions because I was on like 1 health. 383, and that was after drinking Swallow. I should have... Oh, it's on here. White Raffles should be... Why? Thank you! White Raffles decoction is a instant fuck me. Is an instant heal as opposed to... Why? As opposed to regeneration that you get otherwise. It's a lot of wolves. I do love the fact that the game is hard enough that wolves are a problem for me. Nope, there we go. If I die more than twice in one encounter, I won't make you watch through it. I'll just skip ahead until I finish, but... When did I save here? Okay, I know where I am. All good. Not a problem. I will get to full health though, because those wolves did a shit ton of damage.
Strange.
Deserter gold. F5. But as I was saying, we'd heard about this mill before. It was in... I'll find it specifically for you. Angrily scrawled note, I believe, is what it was called. There we go. What was I supposed to fucking die for? Blah 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 blah. We've pitched a camp, got us a great spot, middle of the woods, near the old mill. And then if we look in the spire's notes... didn't move the case that far away, just to the abandoned hut near the old mill. So presumably the same group of deserters slash bandits. Alright. So this time... we're still likely to have issues. Can I get to the warg first? Switch. Oh, fuck me. Deal. The wolf sounds are really cool. Heal. The the rest of the pack comes in, which is really cool. I don't know if it's a specific mechanic or they've just done it for this part, but the wolves howled and then more whoosh, and then more wolves came. Something that I often forget is that wolves are parryable. Which doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but... I guess he's the school of the wolf, they're trained against wolves. Let's call it that, shall we? Woo! Alright, we got it the second time. Not the end of the earth. Ooh, it's tricky though. There's even more over there. Shit ton of wolves. Scroll note. Follow. Good stuff. Things are going better and better for us. We're pitched camp in the heart of the forest near the old mill, and we've already done quite nice for ourselves. Folk are poor, so they say, but squeeze them and something always pops out. Sack of grain here, a few crowns there. Not bad for easy work. Certainly better than the army. At least we've got something to fill our bellies, and risk what we'll pay for all this with our lives. And the risk that we'll pay for all this with our lives, well, it's less than what we're charged... Sorry. Well, it's still less than when we were charging the nymphs at Natalis' orders. Natalis. John Natalis is a commander in the Redanian army, I think? It might be Temerian. John Natalis. I think he's Redanian. I think he's commander in the Redanian army. He's a Gwent card. That's how I know this. So we're here. The old mill is about here, I think. And if we actually look at our treasure hunts, Deserter's Gold, Temerian Valuables. I think these are both in similar places. We'll look at the map. Here is one. And the other one. Yeah, both in the same place. So it's two quests that lead you to the same treasure, which is quite cool. It's a really cool, or a neat idea. They're two separate quests. One, you find this spy, and he's like, oh, spying on these guys, and they move their treasure over to here. I want you. Let's go. Something very cool about this game is the fact that you can do that. I don't even need a horse, but just to show off the mechanic. You want to ride a horse? Just axie one. He's now my horse. I shall call him Roach. Like every other horse Geralt has ever owned. That was the horse making sound. I heard the sound, I thought it was a ghoul or something. Okay, that's the Deserter Gold. And this one is a locked chest. Then you got the key from the dude. I'll take all this. We got the key from the guy who was... Yeah, this hidden treasure here. There was a chest in the water, a dead man here. We found the key, went down into this chest down here, and found the other things up here. Very cool. Same group of bandits hiding their treasure in the same place. Makes a lot of sense. Hello horse. Just small things like that makes the game feel so alive. It's not just random ass hidden treasure. I mean, there is places that are seemingly random, but for the most part, when they give you a hidden treasure, there's a reason that the hidden treasure is there. What have I got left? These 4. That's it. No problem. I'll knock these off. The next episode I'll go talk to Vesemir and we'll take on this griffin. And we'll be pretty much done with White Orchard. So it should be good. It's taking us, what? Probably about 8 episodes to finish White Orchard. Like half an hour each. Like 4 hours for White Orchard. Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, there we go. I've got the mill as a fast travel point. Also going to quick save because, yeah, I know what's here. Actually, no, we all know what's here because we read it. This is the tomb that Colgrim attempted to,
Magic. A place of power.
This is the place that Colgrim attempted to, seal the tomb off. I think I only need to get to half health, as I said. That's another place of power. Done.
Strange.
Handprints here. In blood. Makes very little sense. I assume this is to teach you about it if you come here before getting the quest about Colgrim. That's my assumption anyway. Simple enough. If we go around here, we should probably find Colgrim, I think. Interesting. These bones here, presumably. Yep. Letter from Witcher Colgrim to the Viper School. To Ivar Evil Eye. Ivar? Master of the Witcher of the Viper School. I have now found all the legendary diagrams once belonging to our order. Certain complications have arisen, however. On the way back to our keep, I stopped to rest the night in a village in the Temerian borderlands. The blasted peasants decided to make me into their scapegoat and accused me of kidnapping some beekeeper's brat. They took me into the local lordling's castle for interrogation, during which they found and confiscated one of the diagrams. But do not fear, I will get it back. They did not find the others. I've invoked Temerian common law and demanded a trial by ordeal instead of submitting to the whims of this baronet. My request was granted, and tomorrow I am to cleanse the baronet's family crypt of wraiths. I expect this will prove little trouble. Perhaps I will already have returned to this keep by the time you receive this letter. Light the furnaces, we'll have some forging to do, Colgrim. And this scroll document. Himmy, no wonder we're losing this war. With cowardly constant for soldiers, all it took were a few arrows and wallop on the maize for seasoning, and that was that. Battle was over and the whole convoy was ours for the picking. Maybe they were having such a hard time with it because of all that vodka they were carrying. Our brave warriors must have taken a sip from time to time with obvious results. When you're seeing double, it's damn hard to hit your target. It's true. Take everything we've gathered to the cubby and fence it quickly as you can. Except that showy parade shite. We'll have to bury or burn that. I reckon someone might recognize the insignia and then there'd be trouble. Caius. Also worth noting, there's witch hunters in here. In this uniform here, with this wide-brimmed hat and this uniform. There's a witch hunter. There's people who hunt mages and magic users. Wonder whether they're... It's a weird implication. It's the implication maybe that they came down here to kill Colgrim. Although, I don't see how he would have much of a problem with witch hunters any more than he would have a problem with... wraiths.
Place of power.
Either way, it's odd that he died. A witcher dying to wraiths is... it's rare, right? Let's go out this way. Cool. This here is the final place of power, and a monster nest. There's actually an achievement you can get for having all of the active powers for the places of power, and White Orchard is by like having all of
Place of
the
power.
buffs.
Should draw from
You
it.
can see now I've got the buff for Quen and Axion. I don't want to get hit by a ghoul. You see underneath my health bar, where it's got the 55... Where's the 55%? I don't even know what that is. But the two to the left of it are sign intensity increases that you get from these places of power. And if you have all 5... There's a achievement that you get if you have all 5 active at once. And White Orchard, because it's small, is by far...
Destroy it.
Thanks, Carol. Because White Orchard is by far the smallest area, it's the easiest to activate all 5 at once. Because each area has 5 standing stones. Except for Tucson has none, because it was the DLC area. So if you're going for that achievement, see I've got 3 already without even particularly trying, just because I was doing points of interest in a group. I just need 2 more points of interest, so I go to, so you get this one, teleport here, get this one, run back, teleport here, get that one, and then the last one, no, that's all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you just activate all 5 of them, and then you've got the achievement. And, I have to kill this ghoul. That's what I have to do. Okay. Let's now properly finish that point of interest. And we've now finished. And it's about time that I finish as well. What I'll do is I'll run to a waypoint and teleport back to the main kind of town of White Orchard, so we're ready to talk to Vesemir next episode. That's dangerous. Fall that distance could actually kill you in this game. You have to be careful. It's based off, the falling distance is fairly low that you take damage, but if you roll afterwards you don't. That's how I got away with that, essentially. Just to make sure that I've done all these quests. Yep, they're all done. That's what I thought. Just thought I'd make sure. I'll probably make those Witcher blades as well before I finish up. Because even though I really don't need them because I've got a mod that levels my armor and weapons with me. Should really pay attention to. At this point, I may as well just run back to town, in all honesty. I'm there. I've got a mod that levels all my armor with me, so I don't actually need to make any of the legendary gear in this game, which is what the Witcher gear is when you make it on New Game Plus. It's all called legendary, and it's just higher levels of the same gear that you did in the base game. But I don't actually need to make any of it, but I kind of want to just for shits and giggles, I suppose. But I don't think I'll do that yet. I think I'll wait till later, where I've got a bunch of resources. So many that I don't care about, and I can just make them. But the Viper stuff is... I'm not worried about the Viper swords. In the base game, they're very good. Because when you don't have... They're better than anything else you can get in White Orchard in the base game, and they give you poison damage. So damage over time effects are always good early in the game. I'll cut this out, but I'm just going to sell stuff to Willis. Alright. And we're back. I sold some stuff until Willis had no money, essentially. I bought a few recipes, as you can see going past right now. But that is going to be it for today's episode.
Good man. Whose field is that on the other side of the river?
Listeners.
Boy in clinics. Good lad, Master Witcher. Though he...
Yes, this boy. Will he venture out to inspect his grain anytime soon?
What for? Harvest is a long way off yet.
Out there is Vesmo finding some way to fight this griffin, because he's been doing some work too. In any case, that's going to be it for this episode. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.